Hello, my name is Vicki LaRue from Velocity Technology Solutions. Welcome to taking platform as a service to the next level for healthcare. Healthcare is critical and complicated, and platform as a service is not able to deliver on the kind of custom requirements that hospitals need. Velocity Technology Solutions has added a vital new layer that meets the compliance and criticality that is the very nature of healthcare, clinical platform as a service. As I had mentioned, my name is Vicki LaRue, Senior Vice President for Infor and Healthcare line of business at Velocity. I'm an IT professional with over 20 years of experience in implementing, supporting, and managing ERP applications with a laser focus on customer care. Interacting with customers day in and day out is one of the favorite and most valued moments of my day. For the last 8 years, my attention has been focused on managing healthcare applications as an extension of our customers' environments. During these last few years, I've had the good fortune to work with Al closely. Al Calabrese is the Director of Infor and Healthcare Operations. Al's focus on technology needs, coupled by his 20 years of experience in the business, brings tremendous value to our customers' business needs and technology solutions. Shortly, Al will walk us through some examples of how Velocity is providing solutions for our healthcare customers. But first, I'm going to briefly take you through our agenda. In today's session, you will learn about clinical platform as a service. We will provide you with a customer overview, including their challenges. Challenges that we hear not only from this customer, but from many other customers as well. We'll talk a little bit about why they chose their solution. We'll discuss Velocity's solution, as well as the realized results. Let me talk with you a little bit about who we are here at Velocity. I know this slide is a little busy, so I'll break it down for you. Velocity is the largest pure-play, privately held, cloud-managed service provider in the world. Our application and technical experts focus on delivering secure, fully managed environments spanning private, public, and hybrid clouds. Not only are we an AWS premier consulting partner, we are one of only a handful of the premier partners with a focus on healthcare. Let's take a little closer look at Velocity. Velocity provides services for over 100 hospitals. Actually, 1 out of every 10 US hospital beds is hosted by Velocity. Customers seek out Velocity's broad expertise in managing leading ERP applications. At Velocity, our consultants average over 15 years of application expertise. Not only do we have certified Infor, SAP, Oracle, JDE, and PeopleSoft consultants, but we also have certified Epic and supply chain personnel. Our employees focus on speed to value solutions, including examples such as application and database performance tuning, reporting and interface development, data migrations, and data archiving. We also play a special focus on application strategy development as well as process optimization review. We understand the importance utilizing your application to meet your business needs. Automation, interface, and performances are key to your success. Our experts understand patient impact, things like handhelds working correctly so supplies can be delivered to the hospital on time, meeting payroll deadlines, month-end close, quarter-end filing. Those are all areas that we like to focus on and allow you to meet your business needs. Our clinical platform as a service knowledge and AWS certifications help our customer deliver timely results. We were also one of the first 5 companies in the world to put Epic in the cloud to establish our credibility. Let me talk with you a little bit about one of our healthcare customers. The partnership with Velocity and Brookdale started more than 6 years ago. The CIO at the time came to Velocity for managed service assistance. They came to us with a tall order that we have heard many, many times before. Can you help me with my cloud strategy? As with the majority of our healthcare customers, they too had the typical financial restraints that most hospitals are keen to meet and exceed. We were asked to migrate their 2 ERP systems to the cloud, including providing functional and technical application management for Infor and Kronos. We were asked to help implement Epic plus over 60 clinical applications and did so in 10 months. We also managed upgrades to software and custom code for interfaces, reporting, and workflows. Not only are we an extension of their IT team and their business users, but we also help them achieve meaningful use. This has allowed Brookdale to focus on their patients and leave the care and feeding of their systems to us, the application experts. We had the good fortune of really having a good strategic conversation with Eli. Throughout the years, we have had many collaborative conversations with the Brookdale leadership. Things like, how can we add more value to you next year? What goals are we helping you achieve? Are there things we should stop doing? Are there areas we should focus more on or things we should start doing? Give us some data points to help us improve. The former CIO, Eli Tarlow, believes in partners versus vendors. There is a big difference in the two. As we were conducting a recent quarterly business review meeting with him, Eli came to our office in Charlotte to talk about one question we hear many prospective and new customers is, what does a successful partner relationship look like? Eli spent time that day discussing this with us, explained his vision, how he works with partners and not vendors, works with them to meet his business needs, to be that true extension of his team, to allow his employees to focus on their users, their community, to deliver service, and therefore allowing us to take on the care and feeding of their systems off of their shoulders. If you take a few minutes to watch this video, you will hear from an established healthcare provider on the importance of partnership, technology, and meeting your commitments. You know, as we watch the video, one of the quotes that really resonates with us, and this is a great quote you will hear when you yourself watch the video, and it really hits on the 3 credentials you want from your partner. Number 1, you want a leader. 2, you want cost competitive and deep understanding of compliance. And thirdly, you want someone with deep business understanding, what it actually takes to drive efficiencies to allow our employees to focus on patients. Having the connection with the leadership team and being able to go from strategic to the technical realities is another strength that help move us. Now, let's talk a little bit more about how technology with application expertise helps us bring customers forward to meet their business needs.
Sure, Vicki, that sounds great. I think part of the challenge, the major part of this challenge is the complexity. A healthcare system is extremely diverse. For example, with this customer, there were over 60 different platforms. Each one of those platforms has its own different requirements and a different vendor. And those vendors can be internal or external to the customer. Patient safety and outcomes are the highest priority in these systems, but there's also a budget conscious need for a solution that doesn't break the bank and is cognizant of healthcare dollars and the fact that patient safety and outcomes are its highest priority, not necessarily spending money. Technology is something that a healthcare system looks to be a consumer of and not necessarily an owner of. And so if you look at the different ways to provide this type of a service, clinical platform as a service really kind of sits right in between the platform as a service and software as a service models. When you think about as a service in a way that everybody can understand, like a pizza, you have a traditional on-premise model where you're responsible for everything from sourcing the ingredients or the hardware for the systems, and then building the pizza itself, and then baking it, and then serving it, and making sure that every aspect of the user experience, the customer in this case, is having the best experience that they possibly can. And you're responsible for that end to end. And you're also responsible for the care and feeding of that system to make sure that it is backed up, and that there's resiliency, and that there's a business continuity plan, and all those things that make the service resilient are under your control. When you start looking at as a service options, it basically breaks down into 3 categories. Infrastructure as a service is giving up some of that control at the basic level. In other words, you're going to have a vendor source out the ingredients for the pizza, or in this case, the hardware that you put the applications on. And they're going to be responsible for everything from the operating system down below, or the ingredients, how the pepperoni is made, how the cheese is made, how the sauce is cooked, how the dough is made. All those things become part of their responsibility. And really, you're responsible for just baking it and then delivering it, or giving the users access to the application. In platform as a service, you give up a little bit more. The ingredients are now sourced from the vendor produces the pizza and puts it together and serves it up for you. And really, you're responsible for making sure that delivery is there and that the user experience is good. And so software as a service, the final card in that stack, is you give up the control of the delivery, and you just go to a restaurant and have a pizza, or you just have the application delivered to the end user. So clinical platform as a service sits right in between platform as a service and software as a service, but some of the control is offloaded to the vendor in this case. And so if we look at our services technology stack, you'll see that operational support, cloud software services are all part of the platform as a service offering, but clinical platform as a service provides an additional layer. There's now administrative support for the systems themselves with certified individuals that are unique to the EMR or EHR that you may be using. There's applications delivery, where we level set the application delivery across the board for all the end users. In some cases, we even deploy specialized database support depending on the applications that are being hosted. And there's also increased security and authentication. What this does is help meets the evolving compliance and regulatory requirements that you find in a typical healthcare scenario. Platform plus service delivery will provide everything plus a highly available design. It's optimized to meet and exceed vendor requirements for EMR systems, and it's a dedicated support model. And that gives us a lot of options from the management standpoint by providing things like automation, service management, service optimizations, and even some analytics, which are powered by Velocity's vCamp. You'll see that in service management, we have things like control panel and customer portal access. We're able to do configuration management and even some orchestration. And then there's even analytics on the platform to make sure that it's working correctly and that it's meeting all of the application's needs. We also tend to provide a little bit higher level of metrics for customers that have CPaaS. And you can see here some examples of some of the things that we provide healthcare customers on a regular basis, like volume trends for their interface engine, or peak connection trends on what their end user population's doing with the system. And in one case, we even provide metrics on Epic global transaction peaks and monitors. All these different systems are here for consumption. And so we also have to show clinical platform as a service users what they're consuming on a regular basis, so that they know when they need to up the resources for a particular application or platform. That allows us to cover a large area of applications, and some of these that we have hosted in clinical platform as a service may even look familiar to you today. If you're looking over this list and saying, yeah, that's definitely something that we have on premise, or that we're trying to work with a vendor on, clinical platform as a service has been optimized for these particular applications. But it just doesn't stop there. It's basically any application that has a patient safety concern, a higher need for compliance and regulatory in the healthcare business. Any of those applications can be optimized for clinical platform as a service. So when do you consider it? I would think any institution that struggles with the following challenges: mergers and acquisitions, where you're looking for a partner to help support an integration of systems. Finding a partner who understands the healthcare industry from a compliance and disaster recovery perspective, and that can prove that they are a leading player in that space. And then, of course, moving from private cloud to public cloud with AWS and needing migration support and beyond. I'd like to thank you guys for your time today, for listening in and watching our webinar. And if you have any questions, our contact information is here. We can be reached on LinkedIn, and our phone numbers are there available. We'd like you to check out velocitycloud.com and look at our clinical platform as a service page up there, and reach out to us with any questions. Thanks.